Hey everyone, it's Shar from Shar's Fascination. This is part 2 of the Sew Along with Joy. And now last night let me show you real quick. I had made sure that I had enough bobbins spun and I put them right here so they're easy to get to. I'm not going to waste what's in this one. We're going to go ahead and use that. So let's sit over here, grab a snack, come on back in. Let's get to sewing. Now, as you all know, sometimes you have to, that's the needle position, that's the tension. Release that tension just a little bit because we're working with a jersey knit fabric. When I do this, what I tend to do is take this like that. Now we're going to take this back just a little bit because we need to have a little space at the neckline on this. And why? Why do we need that little space? Well, because you're actually going to be turning that neckline down. So at least go a half an inch so that you can turn it back, or you can go a full inch in again so that you can turn that neck back. And then when you start, now you guys know I have one of the sewing clips marked blue for back, green for front. Now I took the green one off for now. And what I'm going to do is switch my machine to a serger stitch. Trust and believe, you really want to do that, especially with the jersey knit or a stretchy knit fabric. Why did that turn? I don't know. Now, sometimes I leave the top of the shoulder at an inch. Sometimes I leave it at a 1/4 inch or less, depending on what I'm doing. So today, what will I be showing you in this technique? How I do this. Now, I actually don't sew the sleeve closed and then attach it, and I have my reasons for this. Not everybody does it, but it works for me. Now remember to leave that little bit so that you can turn it back. And I have my techniques for why on that too. Now we have enough in this bobbin to probably get it for both sides here. So we will be back with that done. Okay, everyone. So I got the other side sewn. It's nighttime now. I got busy doing other things like cleaning and cooking. But now we've got both shoulders sewn. We can now go on to the part. See how nice that hem is. You see that? That's just nice. Okay, so okay, Joy, here is what I said I would show you. Now remember, the reason I'm able to get a lot of things done in such a quick time and all that is because in the 80s, the late 80s, move something out of my way, I was actually a head custom clothing designer, so I worked with a lot of fabrics. I'm going to scoot you over here. I worked with a lot of fabrics and designing custom fit clothing for any size. So when my motto is So for everybody, shape, size, it don't matter where you come from, whatever your walk of life is. If you, yeah, if you're big, if you're skinny, whatever, we all need to have good quality in our life. Now I did sew this with the white thread, but I don't think you'll be able to tell that, except for if you noticed earlier when I had my fancy nails on and then they cracked because of the heat of the oven. They cracked under pressure. Oh, I have it backwards. Under pressure. Now, what I do here, I'm trying to get this laid out as good as possible because, hold on, because of the wonderful things it does. I'm trying to be a little cheery. I try, especially in this day and age, we need to try to stay cheery as possible. Put this there. That should help. Okay, there we go. That's actually how I want it to lay, because you want to take the center of your sleeve, which should be right here, okay? And I use the sewing clips for a reason. Now, I like using the sewing clips. They don't hurt my hands like working with, and here's the other thing I do is I fold this hem open. Because this is a jersey knit, and yes, I did wash it, because this is a jersey knit, both of these, it doesn't really take a lot. Now, if you saw what I just did there, now we're going to follow that around on both sides. Okay. Follow it around. Now, you don't have to have it like exact there, because the shoulder measurement might or might not actually fit your shoulder measurement. As Joy said, is to measure the circumference of your armhole, like she said she was asked by another person, which, you know what, it makes perfect sense. I don't know why they don't have that on charts. As a clothing designer, I've always thought that would be so super important when it comes down to arm circumference, because we, like I've said, we are not cookie cutter people, and we're not. I mean, we could be bigger on top, have a good fit arm, slender at the waist and big in the booty. Okay, basically I just described myself. That's why I got big hips and a big booty, because my tailbone and my hips are actually separating from each other due to an accident with an Amtrak train that took my military career away. No thank you, Amtrak. No thank you ever again. But anyway, so we're going to finish getting this clipped on here, this one sleeve, and then I want to show you why. I think you kind of get the point of why I go back and forth here on both sides with this to get it clipped, is because you aren't tugging on one side and not having it proper to go to the other side. Does that make any sense? To me, that makes sense, but that's just me. And the reason that I lay my sleeve on this way is because you can also, again, you can put the garment on before you sew it. And but when we sew, we're going to go along here, right? And then we wait to obviously put the other sleeve on the same way, and then we close it because we need to put it on and make sure that the sleeving is sitting where it needs to be. Now I have this little extra right here, and you know what I do? I don't worry about that. No, I don't worry about that. I have my reasons. I'm going to show you my little sewing tricks and tips. And remember, this is the back because we have the blue meaning back. That's another one of my little sewing tricks so that you remember which side is the back of your garment until you get to that point. Now, I personally right now don't have sewing labels, but I can create a label to press on now that I have the ability to do that. So we're almost done doing this. I know I'm jibber jabbering, but I want to make sure that you understand my point on doing this and having that little extra on the gray. So there is actually a point to doing that. Now, some people think I'm weird for doing that, but it's actually quite helpful. So let's get these moved out of the way. Okay, so now that you see that, we got that out of the way. Okay, pretty much now you're going to see, isn't that kind of cute though? That's kind of cute together. So let me get this switched around. Don't mind how I look right now. I'm still wearing something that I've sewed. This one's actually this shirt. I didn't use a pattern for this, by the way. I just made this shirt on a whim, and I made it into a hoodie, as you can see. So I actually even just like make hoodies out of shirts. I'm sure that you could actually later on make this garment into a hoodie if you wanted. So anyway, so that you get the feel on the outside of how this is going to look. Now, there you go. See, you can see that much better. Isn't that going to be cute? I personally think that's going to be really cute. You know, the long sleeve. And to me, these are very contrasting colors. And you're going to have a clean hemline on this. And that's one of my techniques. Instead of going ahead and closing off the sleeve. Now, this one does not, this one does not have that, okay? Now, there's reasons why. It's called cloning your clothes, and you can literally, that's a whole other video. I believe I already have those up on my channel. Go check them out if you like. But this would be one of the techniques. Remember, blue is back. That's until like I take this down and hem it. Now, with using a jersey fabric, excuse me, when you go to roll it down, you got to try to make sure that you don't have that wavy collar, okay? You can do the little clips around it and then hem it down. Or if you have one of your sewing machines set on the right setting, that sounds funny. And what I do, I don't use the zigzag stitch. My Singer Heavy Duty 4452 just so happens to have a serger stitch without it being a serger, even though I can get the serger foot attachment to where it shears off the extra fabric as I'm sewing, which is good. That's going to be an investment in the future of my sewing for my channel, and I think that'll be great. And again, with just this part, the hemline came out nice and clean. It matches really good. And like I said, the reason why I didn't sew all the way is because that gives you ease to turn the collar back onto the inside and sew it down, and so on and so on. And we will be back tomorrow. This is not a singing channel. This is a sewing channel. This is a fashion. Fashion is not just makeup and clothing. Fashion is a lot of things. You can be fascinated with a lot of things, but I just want to show you this because I think that that is going to contrast really cute together. It's getting cold out, my friends. It is getting cold out. It is time to start getting the winter stuff. Yes, I know I still have that on there. That's because maybe I'm starting to change my mind on doing a giveaway over on Instagram for that garment that is only draped on my dress form. And it's not actually been cut. It's just fabric draped and pinned. That's all that is over there. But we are doing this. So kindly in the comments below, let me know, what do you think? We'll be back tomorrow to sew the sleeving on. Okay. So we'll sew that along here, and then we'll pop it on, see what we think about the fit on that, and then we'll sew it up on the sides so that we're happy. But you know what I like to do sometimes with pieces like this? I like to, and this is just me, I love a pocket. Don't hate me for that. You hate me for that. I'm going to show you something on this. It's not just a hoodie. It's got, as you can see, it's got the kangaroo pocket, or some people would call the Joey pocket, but that is a good pocket to have. But I'm not going to do that to this. If I wanted to add pockets to this, I would either put them in the front, you know, two pockets, or something that you could do with a tunic piece like this, because this is designed more as a tunic, is you could add side pockets. You could add a pocket to this very, very easy, and nobody would even know it's there because you're going to use the matching fabric. You're going to use the same fabric, so nobody could tell that you have a pocket. And then really, if you wanted to, you could add a button or a snap to it so nobody has easy access to your pocket. Where I live in South Jersey, you can't walk into a grocery store without somebody wanting to be like right up on your back. And then I turn. People shouldn't do that. They don't know who they're walking up on. Some of us know how to defend ourselves. So, so be mindful of that. And be mindful of your sewing techniques. Learn. I have a saying. I know it's an old saying from somebody else, but I agree with it. Is you can never learn enough. That's why people teach. You can never learn enough. So I wanted to teach you my little technique for that, because to me it's logical. I'm not a Vulcan. I like Vulcans. I like volcanologists too. They take care of volcanoes. But kindly in the comments below, let me know what you think of my technique. Again, I will put joy in my description box. I forgot to put Viv yesterday, so I do apologize for that, Viv. But yeah, let me know what you think about my technique, because I will end up clipping this on after I sew that one. The way I don't lose clips. I know I have to order some more because I have a bunch of them on a backpack, a denim backpack that I'm making. And I kind of want to keep all that clipped together. But anyway, I want you to stay happy, stay healthy, stay positive, and as always, stay blessed, because there's what's left of this month. Thank goodness this month's almost over. I want this year to be over. Who wants the year to be over? I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.